We're sitting here in the Syilx language house located in Penticton, BC, and there are currently 10 of us that meet 2 days a week. When I first moved to Spelchulauch, to Syilx Nation territory 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about being Syilx or the Insilxian language, and I found out we have this beautiful language from Syilx, Richard Armstrong. He was teaching at UBCO, and he teaches at the Anaukin Center, which is right next door to us. And I realized that we have this beautiful language and it's critically endangered, and I chose that as my role and responsibility as a Syilx person to learn it and become a proficient speaker.
Can huiko smokmich us can sichma maya o you chichk us tastus.
I began by taking Richard Armstrong's class, and then I realized that there was an association that had formed called the Paul Creek Language Association, and they wrote this curriculum, which we know as the Paul Creek curriculum. It's a complete curriculum from beginner to advanced. There's 6 textbooks, and they're quite comprehensive, and these are the textbooks we use in the class. You see them all over the tables here. Right now we're on book 5 of the 6 textbooks. As soon as I learned that there was a curriculum that could be followed, I knew that was the thing that I had to do. I was going to follow this curriculum through to its completion, and I knew I was going to create a class because there was no class in Canada to learn this curriculum. So I knew to become a speaker, I was going to form my own class, and we would all become speakers together. Our plan, once this is completed, then there'll be 10 of us that are proficient speakers. We'll be mid-intermediate speakers, and each of us will be capable of forming another group and creating another 15 to 30 proficient speakers, and that's our goal. That's what we're speaking with leadership about, and we're speaking with our family members and our workplaces.
We're still definitely young children in the language, but we've all witnessed the progress in each other and witnessed ourselves grow.
Once we, I guess, complete our journey here with the Language House, it's more of being, let's say, like an activist for language learning, to bring it back to my family.
The reason why I want to learn my language, the reason why I've taken this path is because I want to honor my ancestors. My last fluent language speaker in my family passed away when I was really young, and but she's not gone, and neither is any of my ancestors. I know that they're around me at all times, and I know they're listening, and I want to be able to speak to them, and I want them to be able to help me when I need help.
I'm taking this class because I want to learn Syilxian. I want to speak it for my children and my grandchildren. It's also my responsibility as an Okanagan woman.
I've watched too many of our elders pass away, our language speakers pass away, and it breaks my heart every time, just because that's another opportunity for me to engage with them, to meet with them, gone, and it's painful.
Our language in Syilxian, that's what makes us who we are. That video is something I'm very proud of because it speaks the truth. You can't have Okanagan culture without Okanagan language.
My heart becomes full with love, with laughter, and excitement for the language. But at the same time, there's almost a weight that gets put on you, because the more you step into this language, the more you learn, the more responsibilities you uncover for yourself. And so, as excited as I am, my responsibility moving forward is to make sure that I bring this back not just to my family at home, but to my community.
Sometimes we feel that real heaviness, and that's why we keep the class so light, because we feel the real heaviness and the responsibility of becoming speakers, and we have incredible support from the community. But we also realize that we're very much alone in this room. It's just us proving to the nation that we can become speakers in a room like this.
Welkom meneer Kachels Tuchan, Kastikwelks, or welkom meneer Takal Mixtons, Talet ik or Papa Al.
I've heard people say that once we're at the point where none of us are teachers anymore, that's when we'll know the language is really living. So when I no longer have to teach beginner groups, and when Khatma and Syilx and Qaqayaq and no longer need to teach beginner groups because we're all just speaking language, we'll always, all of us learners will always have to maintain and keep studying. And we'll probably have to work really hard for the next 10 years. But if we work really hard and we can get 100 of us proficient in the next 10 years, it'll be a lot easier for the next people.